morning, everybody. I'm back again. You guys know I don't generally make a whole lot of videos like back to back, but today I needed to make one because I've been kind of in a I don't know, a quiet place over the last couple of days, trying to make sense of everything that I see going on around me. So I thought I would make this video. I wanted to tell you guys that I so appreciate your comments, your feedback on the last video about Billy Graham. I learned so much from you guys. I mean, it truly is each one teach one. In this situation, we have to learn from each other. You know, some of us have been in this a lot longer than others. Some of us are just brand new to this. And it's very disturbing at best what we're going through. And so I just absolutely appreciate you guys' feedback so much. Just wanted to preface that before I even get started on my morning rant. So anyways, astral projection. So when I first started this journey, and I can't even say when I first started this journey, I have to go back to when I was in Christianity. I was introduced to what's called astral projection at church, and they referred to this thing in Ecclesiastes about the silver cord. And the silver cord is what keeps you attached to your body when you soul travel. So I even at that time when I heard about it at church, I was completely intrigued by it. I thought it was like something, you know, definitely phenomenal, supernatural, whatever you want to call it. So I, you know, looked into it. I remember going to read the scripture about it, and Ecclesiastes, which to me wasn't very descriptive of what it was, but it was, you know, a scripture there nonetheless talking about it. And so I started going to this church in Florida that was supposedly like a deliverance church, where they you know, they supposedly casted out demons out of people and that kind of stuff. And at that particular church, they were talking about astral projection. They were talking about people doing it. And I actually came up on this article online that was talking about learn how to astral project in like 6 weeks, how to perfect it or whatever. So obviously, you know, at church they're telling you something evil. So I never really kind of looked into it like that. I, you know, saw the things about it, and, you know, but I never really like tried it because, you know, what they were saying is that, you know, there are people that are witches that soul travel at nighttime, you know, watching to see what other people are doing. And particularly there was a preacher, you know, that always thought somebody was talking about her, always, you know, oh, so-and-so's talking about me. And she made a comment in church one day that she would show up in your bedroom to see if you were talking about her. So, you know, you know, me personally, you know, I'm not a person, I don't, you know, if you're talking about me, then I must be doing something good, because I couldn't care less if you're talking about me. But some people, I guess that really does something for them to, you know or to think, oh, somebody's talking about me, I'm gonna, you know, go check and see, you know. So she would, you know, I guess appear in people's houses through astral projection to see if they were talking about her. So, you know, after hearing those kind of stories and that witches do it and all these kind of things, I just kind of was like, it's not something I want to do. And so, coming into consciousness and awareness of, you know, who you really are, you know, that you're, you know, more than just this physical body, it sort of puts you in a place of wondering about those things again. So, I always wondered about astral projection. I always was like, well, you know, since I've been out of Christianity, is it something that, you know, people just do at will? Which I see that there are some people, like, I don't know if you guys follow Seven Bomar, He's a really good resource as well for, you know, learning about the supernatural and kind of demystifying a lot of the things that relate to supernatural. Because some people can make spirituality so freaking spooky and so out of this world until it's just ridiculous. But he really breaks down that, you know, you are sovereign. You are sovereign. You don't need all these other outside forces, you know, Jesus or any deities or whatever to manifest in your life that you're sovereign. And he kind of demystifies all the mystical stories and everything like that. So I really like him. But he often talks about being able to manifest or, you know, leave your body at will. He even shows you like breathing techniques and things like that you can do to be able to astral project. So again, me being, you know, probably a chicken, I have never really tried it, you know, purposely tried it. So it happened to me the other night. I did not plan it. I just took a break. I just took a spiritual and a mental break from my phone. I think I've only had a conversation in the last couple of days with maybe 2 people. And, you know, my mother, of course, but, you know, I don't have these kind of conversations with my mom. But I just kind of took a break from everything because I just needed to regroup. And so I felt myself sleeping, but I could see myself walking around. And somebody that I seen on one of these videos or that were talking about it was saying that you should be able to, you know, kind of like wave your hand or move around or touch things, and you'll know that it's your astral body when you do. So that's what I did. I went to go pick up something, and I could feel the object in my hand, but I knew that I was still at rest. Good morning, lady girl 22. How are you? So I woke up. I mean, I wasn't awake. I was picking up these things in my hand, and I could feel them. So it's like at that moment I knew that I was in an astral projection mode. So I started flying. And so when I started flying, I flew over somewhere. I don't know where it is, and that's the part that bothers me, because I feel like if you're astral projecting and you're moving around, I guess because I wasn't aware that I was doing it prior to, but I was somewhere. And I remember there was this guy that I thought that he looked like this guy that I met on a cruise that I went on to the Bahamas. We actually went on a cruise and we stayed at a resort. And I met this guy at a resort. He was a really nice guy, in his early 20s. He was younger than my kids, but he was so wise. This guy was just completely like full of wisdom at his age. So I saw him at this place, and he told me that he had gotten this little Filipino girl from the Philippines, and she looked like she may have been biracial in the sense of she may have been white and Filipino because she had green eyes. And you could tell this little girl was completely oblivious to what was going on, but it was like he was trying to tell me I got this girl from the Philippines, like, you know, but she was a child. So I'm just like looking at him like, what? And so I guess when I didn't give the okay or whatever to what he was doing, or that I didn't seem like I knew, he kind of started looking around at the other people like, okay, well, what is she doing here? So I walked away from them, and as I'm walking away, I can hear people screaming and crying and, you know, like almost like somebody on a chopping block. I can hear people being slaughtered, literally. And I'm flying over. And so when I'm flying in a dream, I'm always like flying low in the dream. So it kind of like scares me a little bit that I'm going to either fall or I'm going to be seen by whoever I'm trying to get away from in the dream. So I'm flying over and I'm looking down at this situation. I'm seeing that they're over here literally slaughtering people. And so I extend myself out a little bit further and I said, I'm invisible. They can't see me. And they didn't see me. And I flew over and I felt when my astral body returned back to my normal body and went back in. And I woke up. Please, guys, I need your help on this because this is the first time this has happened to me, and what I saw was horrific. But I know this is going on. I live on the coast of South Carolina. There's a lady, she's called For the People. Hey, prodigal daughter. I love that name. Good morning. Whenever I have these experiences, you know, it always takes me back to something that I saw, because in this life, it's like you'll have something happen to you, or you'll see a video, like synchronicities, all these different synchronicities. You'll read something, you'll hear something, and then it'll play out in real life, and you're like, damn, it's true. So here we are with this human trafficking, this organ harvesting thing that's going on our planet. I think that I must have came up on this situation in real time, because I wasn't thinking about that before I went to bed. I hadn't watched any videos about it. That was not, I'm going through some other things. I told you guys I found out there's mold in my house, trying to stay positive, just all these kind of things. But, when your world around you is seemingly falling apart, it's really hard to just kind of stay focused and be positive. So that was the last thing on my mind. So to see this in a thing, it was a reality check. Like, okay, your mold is definitely not that serious, when people are being slaughtered. But this lady made a video about this organ trafficking and this human trafficking. And there's a place here that was built in South Carolina called Lineage. Okay. Very odd name for a place. But this place is a refrigerated storage unit. And yes, definitely, lady girl. Yes. And I hate those kind of dreams. But I think it's not even impending, because I think that these things, I saw it in this astral projection. I know that I was literally flying over a real situation. I know this was happening at that very moment when I saw it. So, like I said, this lady made this video about this cargo ship coming off of the coast of Charleston that was full of dead bodies. Okay? Coast of South Carolina. It may have been Myrtle Beach. It may have been Charleston. Those are the only two coastlines. And we are, here in Charleston, the biggest port that, exports and imports for the United States. So, i.e. the slave trade, this is the first original slave port. So that just gives you a little background on Charleston. But anyways, this lady, made this video, and now I'm having this dream. And then they got this refrigerated place over here, that over in the area where this place is, people are complaining about a decaying smell of flesh, a foul smell. But now there's this refrigerated storage place here. And I don't know if it's for businesses, but we know what these people are doing behind the scenes. We know about this human trafficking. We know about this organ harvesting thing. So who's to say that they're not over there piling up dead bodies in this refrigerated place? And then there's a storage place being built on every block. I don't know if this is going on in you all city, but where I live, every place you look, there's another storage unit being built. And these places have running water. Why do you need running water in a storage bin? And it just doesn't make any sense. So, and that would be impending doom, lady girl, because, from what I hear, they've been piling people up in FEMA camps. You know, it's just a matter of when are we going to stand up and say enough is enough. So, anyways, yesterday, they were cloud seeding all over South Carolina, trying to make it rain. I don't know what they're trying to do, but it didn't work, because as you guys can see, the clouds are gone and we have beautiful skies. So, I'm so happy about that. Up north, you guys are dealing with a horrible snowstorm. Make sure you're prepared. Get you some food, water, everything in your home that you need. Firewood if you have fireplaces, because this is a manufactured storm. You know, this planet is tropical. It's tropical. I live in a tropical state. I know people that live in other places. The weather, if they leave the weather alone, yes, in the UK as well. I saw in Scotland. I got some friends that are from Scotland, and I mean, the weather there has been absolutely crazy. I mean, the weather in Scotland, they say they've never seen snow like this. You know, they've never seen bad weather like this. So, you know, and our president in the United States is always saying, like you never seen before, there will be this, like you never seen before, there will be that, like you never seen before. And it's happening. Like everything is happening like we've never seen before. Right, HARP, exactly. HARP, and they have like more than one HARP. I think someone said yesterday that HARP is just the, you know, one of the basic names, because they've got so many. I have some pictures. I don't know how to post pictures on YouTube or whatever. Maybe I'll do like a slideshow, but you know, where they have X's in the sky from the chemtrails. In Charleston, you know, they actually have those cloud seeding machines. You can see them over like in the downtown area, where you'll just see all this smoke come up, and then all of a sudden the clouds will just appear all over the sky. So, you know, we're just living in a very crazy time, guys. Like I said, I so appreciate your comments. I so appreciate you guys joining me on these lives in the mornings, you know, because sometimes we just need to get off our chest what we're going through. And what I'm noticing is, even with the Mandela effect, like relationships and karmic debt is starting to be like something we're going to have to deal with. Like, I have been noticing relationships that I thought were safe relationships. I'm starting to see a pattern or a cycle where, you know, like I used to have a relationship with a lady that we were like 19 or 20 or whatever when we met. And we had an awesome friendship. We partied together. We hung, I mean, like we had a really awesome friendship. And then we started going to church. Well, as soon as we started going to church, she turned into this overzealous, you know, she knows more than the preacher, and she's, you know, super duper Christian, and, you know, she's so smart. And then next thing I know, she's trying to tell me how to run my life. And, you know, the Lord told her this about me, and the Lord told her that about me. And I'm like, well, dang, why is he such a gossiper? Like, why is he always calling you up or, you know, loading you up to tell you about what the hell is going on with me? He don't ever tell you nothing about you. So, you know, eventually, after probably close to 20 years or more of friendship, I had to end this friendship, because this lady was literally, every time I got on the phone with her, there was all this judgment. I mean, and she wouldn't even have to say anything. I could just feel the judgment from her that she was not pleased with my life. You know, bump what God thought about me. She wasn't pleased with my life. So, you know, it was just this one judgment after the other. And so I ended that relationship, that friendship. But I'm starting to see that the people that I've set boundaries with in my life, you know, like my ex-husband and my mother, I've set these huge boundaries with them, that there's certain things I'm just not going to deal with from them anymore, because we've always had a poor relationship, and you're going to respect me because I've always been good to you and respected you. So I've set huge boundaries with them. But my so-called safe relationships, the people in my life that I felt like, okay, they know me, they know how I am, they know how I flow, like these relationships, I'm starting to like fall back, like, oh my gosh, are these really safe relationships? Because that same judgmental feeling, that same that you're not good enough, that same, you know, whatever, I'm starting to see in these relationships. So I'm like, okay, is this my karmic debt? Is this something that I have done in a previous life to somebody, making them feel less than, making them feel like they don't matter, judgment towards their life? They're not allowed to have a problem, but you know, when they call me, you know, I can comfort them when they have problems, but I'm not allowed to have problems. I'm not allowed to need comfort. I'm exempt from encouragement. You know, when I have a problem, I'm just being dramatic or what, you know what I mean? Like, this is what these so-called safe relationships are turning into. And I'm like, okay, this is a cycle. This is something that I'm going to have to deal with within me. Yes. Oh my gosh, prodigal daughter, you are on point. You are on point. And I feel like there's some kind of energy source that is contributing to that. Even with this Mandela effect, you know how we're seeing people coming back from the dead. You know, these karmic debts are rising up so that we don't have to come back to this shit. I really feel like that. So these so-called safe relationships that we thought we had, now we're going to have to start building these same boundaries for the people that was hurting us before, because now these people literally look like they're transforming into these same people. I mean, I'm blown away. I'm blown away. So I love you guys so much, and I so appreciate you guys chiming in this morning, because, you know, it's like I said, synchronicities, because I said this to another girlfriend of mine. I said, I feel like I'm in a cycle of poor relationships, you know, poor, situations. That's the girlfriend I was just talking about that I had the conversation with calling me. But anyways, I'm in a cycle, and I got to break this cycle. And so whenever I said this to her, I went on a line last night, and there was a video by this guy. I don't know if you guys follow him. He's a real great YouTuber. His name is Montre Bible. And he was just talking about karmic debt. And he was like, you know, what if you're a person that has a relationship, or people keep borrowing money from you and they don't return the money? And he said, and everybody you meet, they do the same thing. They borrow money from you and they don't return the money. He said, so now you got to figure out, were you the person in the previous life that would borrow money from people and not return it? And now you're paying this karmic debt because of that? Are you going through the same karmic debt that this person, you know, that you put other people through? And so I have to believe that maybe this is what's happening to me. Maybe in a previous life, I was the person that made people feel like they didn't have their shit together, or judgmental, or, you know, overly spiritual. So if you're not as spiritual as me, you're not good enough. And, you know, maybe I was that person. Because, you know, like with that particular relationship where she was always telling me what God had to say about me. What God, you know, this and I'm like, well, why does God, you know, always talk to you about me, you know? But, and even in my marriage, when I was married, my ex-husband was always, you know, nothing I did was good enough. My mother, nothing I did was good enough. And so all my life, it's just been this judgment of, you're not good enough. I don't like you for no particular reason. I just don't like you. You know, that kind of thing most of my life. And I've, you know, kind of gotten through it. It is a purgatory or jail. That's what I posted on my Facebook. If you guys don't follow me on Facebook, I have a page called Life, Reality, and the Truth of Religion. But that's what I posted on that page, that this is some kind of jail. And in order to get out, we got to work out all this karmic debt. So I must have been a bitch in a previous life that made, probably a preacher or something, you know, that put everybody in dogma and made everybody feel like they wasn't shit. I had to have been that person, because I promise you, that's all that I fucking attract in my life these days. You know what I'm saying? It seems like that is all. And I do have some really great friends that are very encouraging, that are very loving, that I've been through some things with. I have a 20-year friendship, and me and this girl have been through some things together in our friendship, but we have worked through it. And now that we have grown to this point, especially in consciousness, our relationship is beautiful. You know what I mean? But other relationships in my life, I'm paying some sort of karmic debt for it. So you guys, you know, please comment. This is a much longer video than I wanted it to be. Comment, you know, subscribe, share the video, because all of us are going through this in some way, shape, or form. So if you are, please, you know, leave your comments in the bottom. There was a guy that commented on the last video about the Billy Graham situation. I'm so sorry I have not been able to respond. It's just been a really busy, crazy week. But I have gone through and liked and loved you all's comments. But there was a particular comment that a guy put on where he was just kind of giving like a synopsis of what might be going on with the Mandela effect. And my goodness, if you guys have not read those comments, please go read those comments. I was blown away. And when I have a chance, probably this weekend, I'm going to go through and respond and just, you know, kind of love on you guys and tell you how much I appreciate you. But anyways, this is my morning rant. I so appreciate you guys, Prodigal Daughter, Lady, I don't know who else came in, but somebody else came in for a brief moment and then went back out. But I appreciate you guys hanging out with me this morning. Prodigal Daughter and Lady Girl 22. You guys have a great Friday. Hope you have a good weekend. And if you're in the UK, or if you are in the northern part of the United States, please be careful. Please prepare for this storm. I love you guys and have a great weekend. Bye-bye.